Good morning. Thanks for joining me today in my little pre-work walkabout the farm here at Orchestra Farm, Salt Spring Island. And not really frosty today, which is a nice thing. It is faring as we go around. We just had the Scorpio new moon of November 2023, and so last night where I live we had a lunar Samhain ritual where we walked about property and brushed off all the different homes and buildings and structures and such to start them off on the new year. There's lots of different New Year's out there. This is nice patch is not completely drowning. In the witch community, the pagan world, and all those kind of things, Samhain, which is basically Halloween, the end of October, beginning of November, depending on if you're using the moon or solar calendars. There's a squash patch. The gate is fixed. That feels really great finally. This is when we reset the year. I kind of like that. I like the notion of like coming into the darkest of the days is when you reset the year, so that as the light is diminishing is the end of the year, and then as it gets darker and darker and darker, that's the beginning moment, and then the brightness as it comes back is your zenith of the year essentially. And different other things that happen. We talked about a word of the year. Some other people out there maybe are listening to Nicole Sauce and Living Free in Tennessee community group podcast out there. They also do this word of the year. And in fact, as we were thinking about it, my wife and I, Nicole did her episode about it. So this is looking all right. My faux beaver mesh seems like it's still in place, which is good. Actually, I'll keep I'm trying to keep my willow from getting completely eaten up here. I mean, look at that great one. Woo! I'm also growing willow for the notion. There's one, I don't know if you can see it right there. Little stem, it's hard to show. It's a lot of nice cobwebs up there, all covered in dew. Quite beautiful. But again, when you restart the year, it's whether you call it a New Year's resolution or what have you, it's a great time to reassess things. And you might be wondering, well, what did you choose for a word? And at first I was thinking about boundaries, but I'm somewhat good with those. My wife agreed. And my reason for boundaries is like, the successful people that I listen to talk about, you got to be able to say no to lots of things, because once you start being successful, people will come and ask you to do more things. And in fact, another saying I've heard over the years is, if you want to get something done, ask someone who's busy. Busy in this case could also mean successful. And so I was thinking about that because I'm looking to increase my own personal success over this next year. Wow, that's curious. And at the same time, I was like, I don't think that's actually the word for me. And instead, what I came up with while listening to a shortened version of a rather lengthy story was serendipity. It's so easy to get caught in a negativity bias and just seeing the bad side of everything. And serendipity is essentially finding the fortunate things in unexpected places. And that notion of there's a possibility of finding serendipity in every moment, as in the fortune that's present all around us. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm aiming for. Here's my squash room. And And I don't know if you can see the fuzz growing on some of these squashes, but this room is, even with my little moisture catching thing here, still too moist. So those are what do we call that? Some sheep's wool out there. Checking it out in here. They're looking pretty good minus the mold on the stems. And even as a musician, I'm obviously been talking a bunch about my album coming out this Friday, the 17th of November. I'm not expecting to get rich by a long shot off that. And so, even with all that, the notion of any good fortune that comes with that would be kind of surprising. And, that would be a happy surprise. So I was like, yeah, there are a number of things that I'm doing this year. And I got at least one trip planned, and we just gotta go through the process of solidifying all of our dates with it. Just that notion of, if I can really open myself up to serendipity, then I can have a lot more fun. And you know what I'm always telling you, is to have too much fun. And so, with that, that's where I'm at today in the moment. What's your word gonna be for the year? Whether you're doing that right now, or maybe you've already done it, or maybe it's coming up for you as your version of the new year arrives. I'm interested to hear. Thanks for either putting those in the comments or letting me know later on. Hope you're all having great days out there. Thanks for subscribing to this channel. Thanks for liking the video. Thanks for checking out my Bandcamp page at bendingreeds.bandcamp.com. And have too much fun.